Hello, beautiful souls. Wow. Okay, so wow. So this energy has been intense, and I know I have been saying for days to make sure and allow for some quiet time, some stillness. And you know what? Here's the real deal. It pays off. For me today, I have been in a really weird place for a while. And what I mean by that is my knowing is super strong, but I was told that I was being retooled. And so I was like, what does that even mean? I mean, I know what being retooled means, but how do I know, like, I'm being retooled? Not I'm deciding what to do, right? But it's also divinely orchestrated. So I'm like, how am I going to know? Because I don't listen to people outside of me anymore. So there's not going to be somebody, oh, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. No, that's not going to work for me. So quieting the mind, going into meditation. I had a whole bunch drop in about myself and like how I'm moving forward, at least in this near future. I spent today, I've been having problems with my website for a while. So, and it's always something I usually am my own IT. I am really good at figuring all this stuff out normally. I've been doing websites since, and even, HTML, all that kind of stuff since like 91. Now I know it's a lot different now than it was then. But, so I have created my websites always, and then some update will happen and the whole thing will get messed up. Or what happened this last time is that I had bought a premium theme and it was no longer supported. So it was phased out. And so I couldn't just import another one without doing a whole bunch of reconfigurations. So that's what I did today. And it looks super rudimentary. But you know what? I'm okay with that. As long as it works and I can get, my name out there, a place for people to see what I'm about, to schedule sessions, to find out how to pay for sessions. As long as there's one spot with all that, like originally it was all dialed in. I had like 8 pages and I had all my videos, my interviews on there and everything. But now I'm like, I don't need that there. I don't need it there. We'll see. And I sell products too, but I'm like, I don't want to put a store, because the whole thing is like, I don't want to rely on all of this automation to do any of this, where I have to pay for it and then pass along that cost to my buyer. I'm just not interested. If anybody wants anything, I know that's the thing. People don't even know what it is I sell. But if you could think of whatever it is magical, I sell crystals, my favorite crystals. I sell black salt. I sell moon water. I sell protection spray. I sell eucalyptus shower spray. If you could think of things with like essential oils, that kind of thing, that's what I do. I'm trying to think what else. That's pretty much, well, I did have some crystal grid sets that I was selling, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Unless there's, if you need help with something, shoot me a message, man. I love problem solving. I love figuring things out to help people. That's like my jam. So, anyway, so that was not what I came on here to say, but that's funny how that works. So if you want to check out my website, my very rudimentary website. It's sallylove.net. Or you can get to it from going to sallydivinelove.com. But anyway, so today, last night, heavy into meditation, quieting the mind, really having some realizations about this place will be exactly what you want it to be or focus on it to be. You know, and I know I've seen some other people, you know, that I resonate with, and they're saying very similar things. Like, look around in your life. I know there's all of this stuff unfolding in the world, but in your life, how are you being affected? And people are going to say, oh, you know, you don't care about it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about we are at this period of time where we are like, what is real? Because we are relying on third-hand, second-hand information, and we all know what AI can do. You've probably seen videos of AI and you're like, oh my God, that looks real. That's what I'm saying. And I know I always talk about, you know, my inner guidance, what do I call it? My inner guidance system. You know, and it is my intuition plus my discernment. And anything else in my body that gives me a message that is like, hey, something's up here. But we are having to run everything through our own inner guidance system. And I just assume everybody has it like the same way I do. And if you haven't been using it like that, then it takes a little while to cultivate that and to, I mean, discernment is not just handed over, okay? Discernment comes from learning from your experiences and, you know, turning them over and over and over and around and upside down and, you know, looking at patterns. And that's where they keep telling me, my team keeps telling me that's one of my gifts is as a pattern recognizer. And again, distortions in the field, which to me is also a pattern of inauthenticity. So anyway, however you want to look at it. So today, and I've known this for a while, I mean, I don't love labels. And I've said that before. In fact, I'm not even loving words right now. But, you know, when you have a business, you have to kind of tell people what it is you do, right? And I know that years ago when I first started, it was Majestic Heart Intuitive Arts. And it was, you know, this thing where most of the things that I do, whether it be creating products, you know, like different sprays or selling oils or the black salts or classes or paintings or I don't know, you know, writing every day, like all of that fell under that umbrella. And so then it came in that no, you know, really, yeah, that works, but you're really a divine conduit, which is the same thing, just different words. This is why I just laugh at words. It's like, yeah, it pretty much means the same thing. And then today, as further defining, which I'm not love, I don't love, is a modern day mystic. And so, I'm like, I don't even know what that means exactly. So I was looking that up. I'm like, what does it even mean to be a modern day mystic? I mean, I know what mystics are, but a modern day mystic. Right on. I mean, I'm good with that. but I don't know what it means. So then, because of just how I work, right? Because that's how things work for me. They just drop into my head. And I don't know how many times I'm writing, and I'm writing things I don't even know. And so I'm like, okay, what does that mean? So I end up looking up a lot of things, but I love researching. So it's all my jam. I love it. So, because it was interesting, I've been going back and forth on this whole thing of mystic or shaman, which I know, tomato, because my team tells me I'm also a shaman. And it's funny because modern day would say that shamans can only be a certain this or that, right? In the same way that a witch would say that you have to be this or that. But I'm like, witch is actually... I know there's lots of rules in Wiccan, but really, at the heart of what a witch is, So anyway, I didn't even know I was going to say all this, but to get to the heart of you, to figure it out, if you don't already know, what you're here for right now, because mine has changed. And it's still changing. And so I keep hearing be open to this next chapter, and it might look a little different than what I ever thought it would be. It's going to show up as people, and also just these knowings that drop in. That was weird. I just had a whole bunch of stuff pop into my head. So anyway, so spend some time in solitude, and that means like no frequencies, that means quiet down, it means no distractions. Notice the amount of distractions that you are entertaining. Because they're keeping us from some very important messages that we're getting right now. Anyway, just wanted to share that. Anyway, let me know what you guys are dealing with. What are you guys noticing right now? There's big movement, I'm noticing. Energetic movement, even if it's not showing up fully in the physical. Some people are having big changes in the physical realm too. Embrace it, man. Buckle your seatbelt and get ready for a wild ride. And I don't mean in a bad way. That's the thing. This is going to be just as fun as you think it's going to be. Embrace every single unexpected thing that happens. My life is full of twists and turns. But I know that I am being asked to not be so rigid. Humans just like to grab on and try to make things happen. Yeah, that 5-year plan that all of these coaches or whatever try to tell you to have, that is funny. But people pay them a lot of money to tell them what to do. But my team laughs at that. I'm not saying don't have goals. I'm not saying don't envision the future. But it's the rigidity around it that is actually counterproductive. I mean, I guess it depends. What are you actually here for? Because I know I've been doing a question a day on my social media because my team told me it's a good way to get people to start thinking a little more broadly to begin to notice the programming and inversion and distortion that they have taken in themselves. And so, like, I can't remember what it was the other day, but somebody was like, show me the money. And this gal, I'm not going to name names, but if you are on here, I'm talking about you, claiming to be a shamanic healer. Are you kidding me? A shamanic healer, when there is actually a question that is surrounding consciousness, says, show me the money. As in, show me the money before I'm going to invest in anything. That is not how this works. And you know what? That's what I'm saying. There are a shit ton of false spiritual people trying to be leaders to make money on people, on you, to try to make money on you. Offering you this, offering you that. And they do not have one single bit of their life together. They are blowing around in the wind. They couldn't ground in to save anyone, not even themselves. Is that the kind of people that you want helping you? But yet they're offering, I have these sessions, or I'm desperate. I need money. And then I have these sessions, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh. You do not have to be perfect to help others on this journey, but you know what? You do need to have some sort of balance, centering, in order to hold that container. I hate that word. Why did I even say that? To hold the space in order to walk alongside somebody in these sessions. Otherwise, they're going to be pulling on your energy. And that's what they're not telling you. Not only are they pulling from your pocketbook, but they're also pulling on your energy, and perhaps, as I found in the past, attaching cords that are siphoning energy way beyond that session time that you have with them. Integrity is important. So I ask again, what is the deal? If you're here for, trying to make money only, maybe that 5-year plan is going to be a good deal. But I'm telling you what, money is the least of our problems. That is not what we're doing here. What are we doing here on this earth right now? Why are we here? Are we here to make $1 million? What's the number? It doesn't have anything to do with that. I mean, you can make money if you want, and it is easier if you have money. I'll tell you what. This life is easier if you have the money to have a shelter, to have the money to have this, to have that. I'm not talking about excess money, but you know what? Hey. I'm not going to begrudge anyone that has a lot of money, as long as they're spiritually aligned and in their authentic self. And they're not running over someone trying to get some money. Do you know what? You get what I'm saying? Anyway. Wow, that didn't come out any of the way I thought it would. Anyway. So, that quiet time, that stillness is not wasted time. That's important right now. And run everything that you are hearing, that you want to believe or that you don't want to believe, run all of it through your own internal guidance system. Is this true? Is there agenda attached? What does somebody want me to think? Oh my gosh. There's cherry blossom flying everywhere. Let me see if I can. I can't turn it around. Cherry blossom petals everywhere. Yay! Anyway, this life is magical. I love it. Anyway, I will talk to you guys soon. Love you. Bye.